a situation where we could disengage if we had to. Our suspect suddenly becomes armed. Additional suspects are running at us. I just want to disengage and get out of this situation. All those things are good things for us to continue to think of and work towards. I also want to create angles, even on the ground. When we did our punch defense, we covered, we controlled an arm, we walled the head off, we created an angle. When we did our takedown defense, we got our hips in, we got a barrier, we controlled that head, we worked to an angle. When we hit takedowns, we got to an angle, we manipulated our adversary's head, we got it to go towards the ground, we got takedowns. So those angles are a constant thing, and there's another reason on the ground that you must be familiar down there, and you can't be overwhelmed just by the fact that you're in bottom position. Because it's likely that you're not going to move if you're overwhelmed. It's likely that you may give up a dominant angle, turn away, turn belly down. We don't want to do that. We can't always choose where this fight takes place. If I could choose, we wouldn't be in a fight. I just would have no fight. If I could choose, there would be no physical altercation. That would be Chad's choice. So if the bad guy gives me a choice, well, then my choice will be that we're not going to fight in the first place. Everyone's going to be safe. Everyone's going to go their own way. We don't always get to choose. There are certain people, I always hear, or I don't always hear, but I often hear people say, well, I'm just not going to go to the ground. And that's great in theory, but if you were to come down to the gym for one afternoon, sign the waiver before you train, I could get a number of guys, just in an everyday class, you're going to end up on the ground. We could say, hey, put boxing gloves on. You can strike. Let's see if you can not end up on the ground. You're going to end up on the ground at times, okay? By design, I want to end up, if we go there on top, if I end up in an inferior position, I want to transition and get out of that position. So keep those main fundamental core principles in mind, even when we're on the ground. One of the things that I'll do, if I do end up in a bottom position on the ground, one of the goals for me, the overall outcome is for me to get up, for me to get out. So there's a principle we call winning the position you're in. Even though I'm not in the position that's optimal for me that I would choose strategically, I still need to win this position. In other words, I need to do some fundamental things that allow me to stabilize that spot. For example, I might want to put barriers in, we're going to talk about this in a minute, to prevent the suspect from improving his position. He's already in a top position. I don't want him to end up mounted or in side control or knee on belly or standing beside me and raining down punches on my head. All those things are no-goes. So even though I'm in that bottom position, I want to try to win that position, if you will, which will allow me to transition, create angles, get my mobility back, and get back to a position where I'm in charge and my adversary's not. Another thing that I'd like to do is make the suspect make a choice. He's either going to hit me or he's going to hold me. If I begin to be offensive, even from that bottom position, and I begin to work towards that outcome of getting out, of escaping, my adversary has to make a decision. Am I going to hit this guy or am I going to hold on to him? If he holds on to me, he's not accessing weapon systems, he's not choking me, he's not breaking my arm, he's not punching me, he's not advancing position if he chooses to just hold where he is. And eventually I'm going to wall him off with barriers, move my hips, I'm going to get out anyway. It's going to be really challenging to just hold me long term. I can also begin to attack him and add in strikes and some other things. If he decides to hit me, that's going to give me space. Remember, space is a friend of NASA and the defender, or the person trying to get out. When he offers me that space, I'm going to be able to move, I'm going to get up. One of the things a casual person is going to do here, a person without much seasoning on the ground, is when they get hit, they're going to tend to stop moving, they're going to tend to stop transitioning, they're going to tend to stop trying to create angles. And we've got to train that out of you. You must train on the ground, even with strikes included. If you're a jiu-jitsu guy watching this video and you're not putting on small gloves and hitting each other in the different positions you get in the gym, you need to change your training. You need to adapt it. So that even in your jiu-jitsu sessions, hey, twice a month, put small gloves on and start punching from every position. And see how your jiu-jitsu changes and tightens up. It's not that your jiu-jitsu is not good, but we need to add in the things that are likely to happen if we get in a street fight. And you'll find that when he strikes me is an excellent opportunity for me to actually move, for me to get up, for me to get on top, And so keep those things in mind as we work this next segment of the DVD. Okay, guys, so with that kind of intro, with our ground stuff, our outcome being getting back to our feet, we're going to show you right now some components of getting back to our feet. If Robert has tackled me and he's stayed on me on the ground, one of the key components is still going to be a barrier with head control. And so we'll start from this position. So Robert's tackled me to the ground and he's holding on to me. He followed me to the ground. His arms are around my hips. He just completed this tackle or this double leg, and I'm here. I don't have full guard, you'll notice, and I'm not going to secure full guard. My first outcome, especially for this DVD, is I want to get to my feet. I want to get out of this situation. With Robert's head across my body and his shoulder on my hips, if I try to just get up, you can even hear my voice changing as Robert puts pressure on my hips. It's hard for me to breathe. I can't just power through Robert and get up. I can't kick him. If I hit him here, it's going to be ineffective. And if, in fact, I don't start to put in barriers and work towards my objective of getting up, Robert is going to improve position. And now I'm going to be in a bigger problem. Right there, he started to work for a choke. Maybe he hits me, whatever. Boom, he gets on top and he hits me. So I can't allow any of that to happen. We just hit the ground here. One of the concepts is where my head goes, my body goes. Where Rob's head goes, his body goes. I actually want to put his head and body on this